Hey everyone, it's Char from Char's Fashion Nation. Now, if you know, I bought a certain fabric because I was following along with Morgan Donner. I will leave her linked below in the description box because of a pair of coveralls. She did hers are really cute. That's why I'm going to specifically link her below and hopefully that video. Because if you know, you know. And I was like, I already had started to draw out what I want. If you've designed clothes for a while, you know front, back, and you know how you want your bib on something like this. But I'm like, I can either draft it, right, or in the bin of a lot of patterns. I have some vintage patterns in here. Let me see. Oh, I know what this one is. I will end up making this one next month. I happen to have, where is it? Here we go. I have Simplicity 5631. I have altered this before. If you remember the video of me making the denim coveralls, then you know. The only thing I did not make in this is the hat. The pattern for the hat does come with this. You would, however, need some fabric stabilizer for the hat. Pretty much this stuff. That's all I have left. So it's much like fusible webbing, but it's stiffer, but you don't sew through it. You leave an edge and sew around. So there is this, but you just elongate, obviously, the leg portion. This, I think I put another pattern in here with this. I'm not sure. I think, no, that's instructions. So this is a choice. I've made this dress. I have. Now there's other patterns in here that I have that also might be very diverse for me to use for something for Christmas. So, but the first thing is coveralls, and I'm thinking, do I want to do the typical or go with something else that I have in here somewhere? Which I've used several times to make dresses. Now, you know what I haven't done? I haven't used the bodice on this. And I could use the bodice on this and the pant. And that too could be a coverall. Now, if you really look at the images of vintage coverall for women, right? You look way back into, I'm going to say, medieval era, to the utilitarian ones that we wear today. I believe they were all in some sort of way utilitarian, but some of them had a similar bodice piece to this, and some of them were just literally a jumpsuit. So I could always, I haven't worked with this pattern yet, so you know, kind of matches a few of the images that I saw, so we'll use that. Now what I can do typically is just, because I'm going to match it together, and this is the fabric that I will be using. This is a tablecloth linen. It is still a nice, tightly woven, stretchy linen fabric. Now, tablecloth. It's a tablecloth, but you know what? This is made from one of those really long tables, so you got a good amount of yardage in this fabric, plus it matches my nails. Speaking of, next month I'll be switching to holiday nails. I know not everybody says Christmas and whatever, that's not my problem. But so there is that. Like I said, next month I will also be doing some Christmas sewing, because why not? And I have a lot of vintage pattern in here that I will do another video on, so that maybe I do have the patterns over here. I know one thing I'm making next month for one of the Christmas things is the walk-away dress. Now, this particular pattern is made for plus-size ladies. The other thing I was thinking with this is, you know, let me also look for the pattern for, you know, those pants that, like, you tie it in the front, you bring up, and you tie it in the front of the back. Anyway, you tie it, and then you bring the back forward, you know, between your legs, and then you tie it off there. I'm thinking, well, now, wouldn't that just be useful to make something for winter? I mean, what I plan on doing next month with this is taking this very vintage pattern that doesn't have all the lines. I have two patterns in here. It doesn't have all the lines like today's type of patterning. That's how vintage this is. I got this from Candace McKenzie. We used to be friends. I got this from her a while back. And let me see if I can find the thing. There's the sleeve to it. It is this. Now, isn't that really cool? Plus, I also watched Morgan Donner make some stuff with like circles, like circle skirts. She made a couple of really cute things out of half circle, full circle. And I'm thinking, you know what? That would be cool. I would love to try that. But I would also love to try this. I think this is cute. Now, initially, I want to do, I think, this one and that one. These two are so similar. But put the binding, the bias binding, along the edge like that. That reminded me of a covering that she made, a jacket that she made. And I think that would just go so cute with the walk-away dress. Considering the dresses that are on this pattern cover, if you really look at the shape, it's about the same shape in the waist as this. So that's the idea for that. I'm going to go grab me some lunch and then I'll be back later. As per usual, we have to, I don't know why I think I grab my scissors. I have something better than that. I always do. If you want to cut your pattern quicker, use your rotary cutter. Keep your scissors handy anyway. Serious, just keep your scissors handy. Now, because this is a used pattern, of course, it could already be fully cut. Not everybody fully cuts theirs. I love this instruction. And of course, you know, the smaller part, I will need my glasses, but, you know, hey, for this, we are going to cut the bodice. Ooh, you know what? I might go ahead and use this whole pattern anyway, just see if I can do it. But for this project, we're just going to use the bodice. So, I don't even know why I brought out my cutting tools. I guess that's a habit. It's a very old habit. It's a good habit. But just lay your pieces out. And when we come back, I'm just going to already have it cut out on the fabric. So now the funny thing about this is I took a lunch break. I brought me a salad, a spinach salad from Wawa. I did not know that this pattern came with the blouse pattern. So the blouse that you actually see in here, here's the other part of it. So, oh wow, this is gonna be fun. Had to look in there for the back piece of this. Now I'm excited for this because I really got to thinking about it. Now, if I really wanted to, down in this part of the pattern, when it comes out to the butt, you just curve it out and make it longer for the pant leg. And that's a thought. Now, of course, you know, I'll be adding pockets because pockets is my gig. So this will be getting pockets. So the next stage to this is, because thank goodness I didn't have to cut nothing. Isn't that great? So the next stage to this, it's darker already. It's very gloomy outside today and cold. But this is going to be fun to cut because that front half is the piece that goes that deep V-neck. And I think that would look really cool with some of the vintage image, which I will see about putting some of the vintage imaging in after the video. So like maybe I can cut that in or post that later over on the community tab. So anyway, I'm going to get that fabric cut and we'll be at the machine. So after a long few hours, because I had to iron the fabric first and it's dark out. So I at least got the front already cut out, as you can probably see. Now I mark my back and my front with a different color. This the purple, this the front. Blue is always back. Purple or red is always the front. And if you're doing a double panel, I would say that that would be up to you on how you want to do that. But like I mark mine a certain way. This does have a darting in the bust area, which I'm not sure yet how that's going to work out for me because I got sweaty, y'all. It all of a sudden got hot, and it's supposed to be in the 60s tomorrow. Like, so tomorrow being Thursday, I'm still going to sew. It's another day for me, just another day. And I enjoy the company of my friend Rob. So anyway, I will be back tomorrow with some more of this. Maybe we'll get it on the machine. And so many days later, we're back to finish sewing. Now, I have my pockets cut out, as you know, and the front and the back pieces. Now, all I have to do is just put it together because it just needs to be done. So now that we are over here at the machine, I'll put my glasses on. And we have this on straight stitch. Now, you know, I check the bobbin. Okay, we have enough for at least a little bit of this on this one, and then I will switch that out. Now, normally with a garment like this, you go to at least here, but in the case of it being coveralls, yeah, we are going to start in a different spot. I'm going to start right actually about just below that. So this can be a really fun thing, and I'm really hoping that I will not have to pick this one, but at least I'm sticking with the color thread that I used last. But now that I think about it, I should probably just go ahead and leave that on a serger stitch. Put this at least half an inch over. Get my foot pedal ready. Like I said, one of these days I'll show you how it is down under the desk. You're always going to have extra thread, don't worry about that. Back stitch. Now, your lines might not exactly match up, you know, because we always try to get this to exact match. It unthreaded. Goodness, hold on. Okay, well that didn't take too long. And right here, that's where I got to before I realized that. This will shed. You can use your pinking shears. And the furthest that we will take this down is right here to the crotch. This is the crotch. You know, not everything in life lines up, so I'm not too worried about this. I probably won't wear this out much to begin with because I don't think that the back is going to align with the front as good as I want. Again, not worried about it because you can always wear something that kind of throws it off a bit so nobody's really paying attention to that. And pull that back over in a minute. And that, my friends, I will trim that in a minute, is a really nice, see how I mean, like, I thought that was going to match perfect. Nothing's perfect, but that is nice. Now, I could seam rip it and realign it, but do we really want to seam rip like that? I mean, these 2 points here, this matters right here. One's a little higher than the other one. That's the only reason I would seam rip this and try to realign is because you want to have these pieces here aligned. So let me check that. Then we'll see about the pockets. If I have to re-stitch, I'm not worried about it. At least it'll be done. And then what I'll do is the same thing with the back part of this garment. And then we'll finish sewing it together. And eventually I have to change out my nails because they have grown. And soon these ones got to come off. Yeah. They still match. So we are back on this. My nails popped off last night, and it's obviously the following day. So I actually changed the thread out to this kind of chocolate color. And I gotta remember to switch it back to the thing. Because it is a fall winter piece of clothing. However you want to look at it, I think it is a very cute fabric. And now what I did was I double rolled the hem for the front of it so that it looks nice and clean. And And this is before I come down and sew it to the crotch area. I just figured doing it this way and then bringing it down to that would be a lot quicker than having to go back and forth, back and forth. You know what I mean? Makes sewing a little easier. So far, we're gonna see if we like that color with it, because of course you will be seeing the stitching. It's fine. It's fine. Is this hard for like this fabric to like pick and choose what you want to use? That sounds funny. Without it being like super decisive. Now in this portion, I could have obviously just gone with a straight stitch, which I probably should have, but whatever. It's my piece of clothing and I want it the way I want it. So that is the front. This is the inside. This is the outside. I don't think the stitching is bad. Obviously, I'll press it down when I'm all done with it. Like, what in the world? This is weird. Sometimes I get this little piece of like strange thread that just shouldn't have been there. I don't know. Have you ever had that happen to you when you're sewing, if you sew? And if so, kindly in the comments below, let me know. So we will do this part here, and then I'll sew that, and then I'll do that other part. And then when we come back, I will already have the pockets on this, and we'll be attaching the front and the back. So I am actually almost done putting this together. So I have this side clipped together. The top and the bottom are going to be uneven, so of course, you know, I can always take care of that later. Besides, I plan on extending the cuff. So extending that cuff will be no big deal at all on this, because trust me, when you get a really, really good tablecloth, you have the opportunity to have plenty of it. Don't be afraid that, you know, even though I'm a seasoned person at the sewing machine, I've been sewing for 40 years, even I will take the opportunity to, when I spot good material like this, to take advantage of the fact that it's cost efficient, especially in today's day and age. I know y'all know what I mean. Anyway, so I'm just going to sew up this one side tonight and then come back to this tomorrow, and then this will be finished. Now that we are over here, and I took my pinking shear to most of this fabric because this frays really, really bad. There's one I forgot to even like snip a thread. I got these from Amazon. These pinking shears came with these little snips that, you know, I use over at the sewing machine. And I have, I think, 2 other pair of these. One pair went MIA. But at least I have those and my pinking shears. Now, as you can see, I have the pockets on here. I had to readjust the bottom cuff. You're like, wait, aren't we done? No. So on the bottom cuff, of course, we will roll the hem And with this, because it's going to be short on me, I might add a little extra piece. I'm not sure yet because it might go a little longer after because we're not done yet. This being the front, now that I don't have to put the clips on there because the V is in the front, obviously, and the other part is in the back. I told you it may not exactly match. I tried. So I'll still wear this out. I don't care if I wear a sweater over it, you know, a button-up sweater. So the last parts that we're actually down to now is just this part. And what I'm thinking about doing here, other than get that thread off, is I'm going to go ahead and take the pinking shears to this because it sure is looking horrible. So before I go, and that's very easy to do, just take it like towards the end. Anyway, you get the meaning. So I know that wasn't perfect. But what we will do is we will go ahead and we will roll this and make sure that end is tucked in. That's one of the things with doing this, is you have to make sure that this end here doesn't show here. So you can grab these. I always love these. You can get these on Amazon as well. It's not where I got the cloth for making this, if you don't know, if you weren't here for that part. I got this cloth. This was a tablecloth that I found at the Aldi. And it is a really nice cloth. So I'm like, you know what? I've never made something out of it. Now, fully, I'm not going to say I haven't made one out of a tablecloth like this. So what I will do is like what I did here. Now, if you notice the underarm part, I used a straight stitch. Now, if somebody's looking at your underarm, they're too close. Too close. So what I am going to do is take a another piece of this. Now, this is hemmed down really nice. And I was looking at the thread and I'm like, you know what? That's the same color that I used for this. So we did good. We did good. So I like that. So what I will do, because I'm going to do the buttonhole loops. Now the buttonhole loops will go here. And I'm thinking, okay, I might have to extend this piece slightly because I'm 5'8". And most people out here on the East Coast are shrub sized. Like the tree in the forest is tall. And the forest full of shrubs. So I joke with my doctors about this. Like my doctors are like 5'2", and me being 5'8", I tower over my doctors, and it's kind of funny because with my neurologist, we have our own jokes about it. Like before she moved into a better office with like better seating for, you know, giving me my medical Botox, we would always joke about the fact that, you know, because she got the short end, that the tall tree has to sit on a lower chair. So eventually her office was moved to her husband's old office, which is good because it's a good location. I enjoy it. It's very, very clean, very, very nice. Just very nice. And yeah, so we're going to do that. Now on this part, I have already picked out the buttons, which I will show you soon. So, like I said, I have this piece of fabric. Now, this part here I will use for the loops. Don't mind my other two devices. And some of it I will use for the extra length on the shoulder here to go to here. Even though that matches, I still need that little extra bit. So I'm going to put that on there, and when we come back, I will have this on and I will show you the finished thing, and that's how that is, because I just wanted to show you what I'm doing here before we reveal the finished product. So, as you know, it's always good to try things on during the process. I'm like, this would have been cute, don't mind that fabric. Should it have, I changed a little bit so that we could do this better. Should it had actually not been too short at the leg, they fit up over my hips because of weight loss, but look at the gap. And I put an extended piece of fabric on here thinking, okay, this will connect. Oh, so you know what? I'll finish these up and I will donate these. Don't worry, I'm wearing undies. I will donate these to a children's Christmas charity. Give me a minute to take these off. Okay, so it just so happens to be that there is a children's Christmas charity event coming up in the town in which I live in. So, oh, and I figured out something cool for buttonholes, right? Like, so I did that. These will be the buttons that I'll be using. I'm really not a big fan of making buttonholes. Y'all know that. So what I will do is I will finish this off and I will donate this pair of pants, this pair of coveralls, to that children's Christmas charity. So it was fun. It was fun doing this. It was fun trying this. I'll try it again. I'll just alter, make it longer, because when you're 5'8" and taller, when you're over 5'2", sometimes, and this is also why I make a lot of my own clothes, I don't have too much like store-bought stuff. I make about 98% of my own clothes, if not 99. Obviously, I haven't made my own socks yet. I do make my own underpants. And eventually I will be making my own bras. Bullet bras, to be specific. So yeah, gonna edit this, upload, and go to bed. So stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed. And like I said, I can just finish this and it can be donated and everybody can be happy. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one. And don't forget, giving is the best gift ever.